Hi, this is Gila. Today, as I'm recording this, the new year is just over a week old. Today, I have some new glasses as well, which I'm still trying to get used to. And today, I'm actually trying a different video recording program because I tried to record this already more than once, and each time it didn't process. I also have 3 cats around, and one of them is making a bit of a fuss at the moment, so if you hear any funny cat-like noises, that's why. One important event which has made the news in recent days is the killing by the USA of the Iranian murder mastermind Qasem Soleimani by an airstrike on the airport in Baghdad while he was visiting Iraq. Apparently, this man, effectively number 2 after the Ayatollah, was planning a new and far-reaching atrocity, which his killing has stopped in its tracks. Now, frankly, anyone who has the blood of thousands of people on his hands, including not just hundreds of Americans, but even some of his own Iranian people, and the Iranian people are forced to live in a deeply oppressive Islamic state. Anyone who has such blood on his hands surely deserves to die and to meet the ultimate judge of us all sooner rather than later. And this little pussycat wants to go out. Off we go. She'll come in again in a moment. She can actually open the window by herself, which is quite clever. So, according to the precepts of Judaism, actually, we are supposed to kill someone who is actively trying to murder us before he can actually do so, to protect our own lives. And yet, too many leftist apologists have decried this long overdue action. Is it because President Trump ordered it rather than their hero Obama? Nancy Pelosi, leader of the American House of Representatives, has described Soleimani's targeted demise as provocative and disproportionate. Exactly how many thousands more murder victims would make his killing proportionate, she didn't say. But then, this is the lady behind the ridiculous and totally unjust impeachment coup against President Trump, who is still refusing to pass on the impeachment resolution to the Senate, ultimately because she knows how pathetically weak the Democrats' case truly is. And then we have Joe Biden, who was Obama's vice president, who said that President Donald Trump had tossed a stick of dynamite into a tinderbox. Now, considering that his previous boss's attempt to reign in Iran essentially consisted of trying to bribe the Ayatollah and his cronies, surely anything President Trump does can only be rather better. And in Britain, anti-Semitic Islamic terrorist-loving Comrade Corbyn has commented that the US assassination of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani is an extremely serious and dangerous escalation of conflict in the Middle East with global significance, and he urged restraint on everyone concerned. Exactly how restraint is supposed to work on a death-embracing fanatical Islamic regime that oppresses its own people and promises genocide of the Jewish people and a determination to wipe out our whole Western civilization of freedom and self-expression cannot, of course, be explained. Any teacher knows that there's only one way to deal with bullies. You have to stand up against them firmly and to make and to enforce clear limits on their actions. And if they resist, they have to be made to pay. More than once if necessary. Frankly, it's good to see President Trump standing up for the interests of the USA and indeed Western civilization against the tyranny of the Ayatollah's Iran. And he's certainly the best friend in the White House that the one and only liberal democracy in the Middle East, Israel, has ever had. But I will go further. It's surely way past time to throw out all the ethical nonsenses of postmodernist relativistic thinking enshrined in political correctness. Deliberate murder of other human beings, though certainly not a targeted elimination of a mass murderer such as Soleimani, who was planning yet more slaughter, is morally wrong. period. So is the murder of people who decide they can no longer accept the tenets of Islam, or who even simply criticize the supposed prophet of the whole barbaric political side of this particular belief system. No other mainstream religious ideology is like it. Let's get back to ethical basics, based ultimately, certainly, at least in Western civilization, on the God-given commandments to the Jewish people. For instance, stealing is wrong. Even covetousness is actually wrong. That is, wanting something that somebody else has. I think the pussycat is coming in. There she goes. Quite a clever pussycat. That's Smudge, by the way. So even covetousness is actually wrong. How many of us may actually be guilty of it at different times? And of course, that's not something appropriate to deal with in a court of law. Sleeping with someone else's spouse or partner is also immoral. Human sexual activity isn't just about physical satisfaction. We're not dogs or cats that have to obey our instincts. Any dog or cat can flip from partner to partner, but we form, as human beings, not only a physical and an emotional connection with another human being by such intimacy, but a spiritual one as well. If we flip from person to person, every time we give some more of us away, we lose more of ourselves. So, of course, the ultimate taken is the vile rape or abuse of another human being. That is a horrendous crime that should never be excused or condoned. And I think of what Gordon Brown is supposed to have said 10 years ago or so. 11 or 12-year-olds were made informed choices to be abused by adult males determined to exploit them, or even other people. I think there's an MP lady who said that they were only going to be abused or raped anyway. Absolutely appalling. There's no excuse for it, ever. Whether you accept that ethical standards such as these come from the creator or not, or even whether there is a creator, the point of universal ethics is not just our own well-being, but that of everyone else around us. If you were the only person in the world, everything you did would only affect you. But we have 7 billion of us, and growing. In today's global village, where any one of us can communicate instantly with other people anywhere else in the world, surely a universal code of fundamental human ethics is even more important. Most of us do actually possess a conscience, and certainly regret is a deeply profound feeling that can last a lifetime. And actions that we do which harm other people in the long run ultimately usually cause harm to ourselves as well, even if we can't see it at the time. But of course there is the other side of the coin, and that every one of us possesses the possibility to regret, to make amends where we can, and to do our best to change for the better. None of us needs to be bound by the past. Every one of us can make a difference to try to leave this world a better place than the one we found it. And I truly believe that that's what President Trump is trying to do. He was already famous, and he didn't need more fame or more money, and he has given up a lavish and easy retirement instead to work hard, trying not only to make America great again, but actually to try to make the whole world a safer place. Which means standing up to bullies, whoever they are and whatever their threats, including Iran. And that, I'm sure, is why also he's facing so much opposition, especially at home in America, because he is actually in the process of succeeding. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you have a good rest of the week, good weekend. Hope you like my new glasses. And goodbye.